we will begin our awards presentation. The first award of the evening is the CILT Founders Award. This Founders Award was established on CILT's 10th anniversary in 1995. It recognizes the significant contributions of an individual who exemplifies and has advanced the philosophy and principles of the independent movement in the spirit of our founders. I'm thrilled to announce that the board has selected Lisa DeBono as the recipient of the 2024-2025 Founders Award for her significant contributions to CILT and the direct funding program. With that, I would like to invite Wendy to say some words about Lisa. Wendy?
With pleasure, Darren. And Lisa, I know you're here. Could you put your camera on so we can see you?
I did put my camera on. I was.
Hello.
I'm just.
Congratulations to you. I am so pleased.
Thank you.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lisa. Lisa has been a transformative force for CILT for 30 years, over 30 years. Her fierce commitment to the direct funding program has had an enormous impact on the lives of disabled people across Ontario, meeting the needs of consumers to live independently and participate in their communities. Lisa was born and raised in Etobicoke and attended York University, graduating in 1989 with an honors Bachelor of Arts degree in English. After spending some time working, she and her future husband, Jim, took a year off and traveled the world together, marrying in 1992. Lisa joined DF in 1994 as the administrative coordinator, leading many of the eligibility interview panels and even often traveling across the province to meet applicants in person. She also helped some of the original self-managers with their payrolls back before everybody hired their own bookkeepers. Lisa knows all of the original self-managers from that 75-person pilot, and they all remember you fondly, Lisa. One of the biggest privileges of her career, and we hear about this often from you, was to work alongside your friend and mentor, Ian Parker, who passed away in 2021. And Ian is very missed. Lisa and Ian were always great supporters for each other during challenging times. Their families also became very close. And apparently once, Lisa, you won a trivia contest for knowing the most minutia about Ian. And I would love to hear more about that contest at some point. Together, they helped to grow DF from a 75-person pilot project to include the many hundreds of self-managers on the program today. In fact, more than 1,800 self-managers have been involved in the program since its start. The impact that Lisa has brought to the program would see her promoted to being the program manager in 2011. When COVID forced CILT to pivot to being fully online in our working environment, Lisa fearlessly navigated DF through that shift to ensure that self-managers would continue to receive uninterrupted funding. And I have to say, we were right alongside each other through that process. Not many people know this, but we had no PPE. We overnight had no access to PPE, and we had almost 1,000 people on the program that needed it. And Lisa, I don't know how you did it. Just nerves of steel. But you got us there, and it was tremendous to work alongside you through that challenging time. Lisa worked with her team to provide updates and resources about PPE. At one time, it was even down to, we know that there's a Canadian Tire down the road in this particular town that has PPE at the moment because they used it for painting. So it was a very stressful time, and you led your team and you rallied incredibly well to be able to meet the needs of the community across the province. You also worked with your team to spread information about vaccines to the community. and also worked, frankly, to advocate for those vaccines being made available to self-managers as a priority. Lisa continues to drive the program forward with compassion, expertise, and frankly, contagious enthusiasm. That's something that we love about you, Lisa. Lisa enjoys spending time with Jim, her 2 children, Rose and Jacob, and the family cat, Mango, and the dog, Gracie, who we often hear lots about. When she's not at her desk, we know that she walks Gracie and along with her neighbors, and she is a very determined do-it-yourself homeowner. So we have spent many meetings talking about plumbing, painting. The back deck had some raccoons under it at one point. So we know how dedicated you are, Lisa, not just to DF, but to supporting everybody in your family, and everybody that you work with feels the love. So we thank you. We know that we can always count on you to promote direct funding and independent living wherever you go. And I know for a fact that you take all of the cards out with you and will approach people randomly wherever you are, be it the airport or a festival. You will still talk to people about direct funding. That is how dedicated you are to this program, and what an incredible ambassador you have been. In last year's annual report, you wrote, Lisa, quote, "I have always believed direct funding is a program that epitomizes the independent living philosophy because it truly offers choice, flexibility, and control over one's life in a way no other program does. I am pleased and proud to have been a part of this amazing program for the past 3 decades." And Lisa, we are proud of you. Your ongoing commitments and contributions to championing and fighting for direct funding are highly valued. I said this at the anniversary, but I want to say it here. I have sat alongside you in more meetings than I can count where we are fighting for this program, and you are such an eloquent, dedicated, and passionate advocate for this program. In private, you are just as eloquent in private as you are in public, and I am very grateful for you for that work. And I want everybody to know that that's the contribution that you bring. So on behalf of CILT's board, I'm happy to present to you, Lisa, the Founders Award, as much deserved recognition of your excellent work and your support and your love for the direct funding program, for CILT, and for the disability community for over 30 years. You continue to amaze me every single day. So thank you very much, Lisa, and congratulations. And I'd like to just offer you an opportunity to say a few words. And don't make me cry, too.
Oh, I can't believe you said all that, Wendy. I can't believe you now expect me to speak after this because, oh my gosh. I just want everybody to know I have access to the AGM script, but I would not have read this part in advance because that felt cheating, and I'm so overwhelmed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, it's hard for me to express how deeply honored I am to receive the Founders Award from CILT. This recognition is not just a personal milestone, but it's a testament to the collective efforts and unwavering dedication of everyone in the independent living movement. For the past 31 years, I said 30 years last year, but Melissa, I think I'm at 31 now, or I'm pretty close. I have had the privilege of working with the direct funding program. This journey has been more than just a career. It has been a commitment to a philosophy that empowers individuals with disabilities to take control of their own lives. The independent living philosophy is not just about providing services. It's about fostering autonomy, dignity, and self-determination. Throughout my tenure, I have witnessed firsthand the transformative power of this philosophy. I have seen individuals break barriers, achieve their dreams, and live life on their own terms, on their own terms. These experiences have reinforced my belief in the importance of our work and the impact it has on the lives of so many. I would like to extend my heartfelt, and when I say heartfelt, everybody who knows me knows, I mean heartfelt gratitude to CILT for all the wonderful years and the education and enlightenment I have received. I have certainly learned more from my colleagues and self-managers than they have learned from me, and it is energizing to work in a place where you are so constantly in a state of learning. I am immensely grateful to my colleagues, my mentors, and the countless individuals who have supported, inspired, and instructed me along the way. This award is a shared achievement, and I am proud to be part of such a dedicated and passionate community. On a lighter note, I do have to share a little story about how proud I am of having received this award. On September 10th, Wendy shared with me that I was the Founders Award recipient, and as she will attest, I was speechless. For those of you who know me, that is saying something. I immediately went and told my family that I was receiving the same award my mentor, Ian Parker, received in 2012, and how very proud I was of receiving the same award as Sandra Carpenter, Hazel Self, Tracy Odell, and Catherine Frazee. As it turns out, the celebration of direct funding's 30th anniversary was only 2 days later on September the 12th. So after the big day of celebrations, my daughter asked me what time I was coming home. I thought this was kind of an odd question. Whatever, I said somewhere in this vicinity. When I walked into my kitchen on Friday night, the speaker started playing "We Are the Champions" by Queen. And I stood dumbfounded in my kitchen, trying to figure out what was going on. When I walked into the dining room, there was my whole family, my husband Jim, my daughter Rose, my son Jacob, our family partner Zach, my cat, and my dog. There was food, there was flowers, a charcuterie board, and everybody said, "Congratulations on your Founders Award." We were good 15 minutes before I said, "Sorry, folks, that award is actually not coming for 2 more weeks. But thank you so much. I tell you this story so you know how much this award meant to me and how I expressed it to my family as how important it was to me." So I not only got the honor of receiving this award tonight, but I get to celebrate it on multiple occasions. In closing, I want to assure you all that I am and I will always remain committed to advocating for the rights and independence of individuals with disabilities. I am dedicated to ensuring that the independent living philosophy is understood by everyone I work with, including our funders, who may sometimes be a step or two removed from our community. From the bottom of my heart, I once again want to thank CILT, our board, and all of you for this incredible honor. Thank you.
Can everybody just unmute for a second and we can clap for you, Lisa?
Yes.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Amazing. Oh, yay. And your family's there too. Brilliant. Congratulations, Lisa. Thank you. Back to you, Darren.
Thank you, Wendy. And on behalf of the board, congratulations, Lisa. So well deserved. All right, moving on to our next award, we have the Helen Henderson Literary Award. And for this, I would like to invite Rebecca Wood, CILT's Peer and PDM Coordinator, to present it. Rebecca?
Thanks, Darren. Hello, everyone. As Darren said, my name is Rebecca Wood. I'm CILT Parenting with a Disability Network Coordinator and Peer Support Coordinator. And one of the monthly programs that I run is called the Disabled Writers Drop-In. This is a monthly virtual meetup and a chance for a cross-disability group of writers to connect and write in community. Each month, we choose a theme like connection, bravery, light, and I provide prompts to spark the creativity of emerging and experienced writers. We discuss writing from a disability perspective, and together we create a collective poem each month. Telling our stories is important, and you can see some of the brilliant writing that's come out of CILT's creative writing programs on our website. I love facilitating that group, and I am also a poet and a writer with lived experience of chronic illness and disability. My first poetry collection, called Multimorbid, about navigating multiple sclerosis and comorbidities, is coming out this fall. And as someone who engages both personally and professionally with disability-centered writing, I'm so pleased to be presenting the Helen Henderson Literary Award here tonight. The Helen Henderson Literary Award was established in 2016 to acknowledge an exceptional piece of writing that raises social awareness of a disability issue or barrier. It's named in honor of Helen Henderson, a writer, a journalist, and the pioneer author of a column in the Toronto Star that brought disability issues to the public. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in the late 1970s, and since then she fought to maintain her independence. Her career at the Star began in 1971 as a business reporter. After moving to the Star's Life section, she proposed writing a column about people with disabilities and the issues they face. She was the first person at the Star to address disability issues on a regular basis and provided critical coverage of the direct funding program in the early days. In 2014, Henderson was elected president of the CILT board. You can read the writing of past recipients of the Helen Henderson Award on CILT's website, and tonight we are about to add one more recipient. So on behalf of CILT's Board of Directors, I would like to present this year's Helen Henderson Literary Award to Tika. Tika is an Academy Award-winning songwriter for Learn to Swim, a powerful singer, composer, and multidisciplinary storyteller, known for her commanding presence as a stage performer. She is currently in a season of healing and renewal, readying herself for her return to live performance. Her work spans music, film, and community spaces, always centering the voices and stories too often left unheard. In her essay, When Surrender Becomes the Teacher, she reflects on her personal journey through a herniated disc injury as a touring musician and how navigating pain, vulnerability, and care reshaped her understanding of disability and independence. She explores the ways the music industry, societal expectations, and even personal relationships often fail to recognize invisible disability and the need for care. This essay highlights how support, accessibility, and attentive care can transform survival into growth and foster resilience within communities living with disability. Tika is here this evening to accept the award, and we want to offer you congratulations, and I will give you the floor if you want to share a few words.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much to CILT. Thank you, Sarah, and just everyone at CILT for this incredible honor. I'm really, really deeply grateful to receive the Helen Henderson Literary Award and also to be welcomed into a lineage of writers and storytellers who believe in the power of words to transform and to heal. When I wrote When Surrender Becomes a Teacher, it really came from a place of listening to my own body, to my own healing, and to the lessons that come when we decide to release the need to push or to perform. I never really imagined that this essay would reach others in the way that it has, and to have it recognized by CILT means really more than I can say. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the work that CILT has been doing for decades, building access, equity, and community. As you celebrate 40 years of CILT and 30 years of direct funding, this award reminds me how essential it is that disabled voices, disabled stories, and disabled leadership remain at the center of cultural and community conversations. I really received this award not only as an individual recognition, but also as a shared moment for anyone who has ever felt unseen or unheard, or told that their way of moving through the world was too much or just not enough. Our stories matter, our voices matter, and our healing matters. I want to thank you again for this honor and for all the work that you continue to do in creating spaces where our voices are celebrated and uplifted. I am truly, truly humbled, and I carry this with immense gratitude. Thank you so, so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tika. Let's all take a second to unmute and share our congratulations.
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 Congratulations. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Tika. Thank you for being here tonight, and I will pass it back to you, Darren.
Thank you, Rebecca. And congratulations, Tika, once again for your essay and for your powerful words. Congratulations. We're now going to move on to the Vic Willie Award for Youth and the Sandra Carpenter Award for Artists. Both of these awards were presented at the gala back in June, and I'm going to ask Wendy just to provide a recap of them for us. Wendy?
Thanks, Darren. It is really a privilege that we have at CILT that we're able to recognize disabled leaders, artists, writers, and youth for their outstanding contributions to promote and to embody the principles of independent living. In addition to the Founders Award, here are the recipients of CILT's annual awards in 2025. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. It's
You
great.
are, yes, exactly.
So the Vic Willie Award for Youth is annually presented to a young disabled person who shows leadership in disability activism and disability rights. The award was presented at CILT's 40th Anniversary Gala and recognized Jessica Gill for her outstanding youth leadership, challenging healthcare professionals and educators to think differently about disability by sharing her own lived experience of disability and chronic pain. So congratulations to Jessica once again. The inaugural Sandra Carpenter Award for Artists will be granted annually. It was granted for the first time. It will be granted annually to an artist with a disability whose artistic achievement demonstrates creativity, originality, and a commitment, again, to the values of independent living. At CILT's 40th Anniversary Gala, the inaugural Sandra Carpenter Award for Artists, and can I just say she would be thrilled at having an award that recognizes artists, was presented to Rababa Mohammadi for her incredible paintings that demonstrate extraordinary talent and unwavering commitment and determination that embody the spirit of independence. So thank you very much, everybody who came to our gala to celebrate, and congratulations again to Jessica and to Rababa.
Great. Thank you, Wendy, for that recap. And congratulations again to all the recipients of our awards. We are now going to move on to our anniversary spotlights, and as well as a look back to CILT's 40th and Direct Funding's 30th anniversaries. And to kick this off, I'm going to once again invite Wendy back. Wendy?
Thanks, Darren. So it is important to recognize the people that do the hard work day in and day out to support us and our vision of social and economic equity for disabled people. And at CILT, we have taken the opportunity to recognize staff anniversaries throughout the year at our staff meetings, generally just those ending in a 0 or a 5. So we would like to highlight for you those folks who reached these milestones over the past 12 months. Our incredible Melissa Watanabe is celebrating 5 years, and Danielle Vincingera is celebrating 10 years. Vinci Guerra, sorry, Danielle, I've just completely slaughtered your name. Next slide, please. Zdravka Georgieva and Andrea Ray are celebrating 15 and 20 years, respectively. And so a hearty congratulations and a huge thank you to our staff every day for doing the important work that you do. And special congratulations to those who have celebrated milestone anniversaries this year, as well as in past years. And if we could go to the next slide. So we have one person who's celebrating quite an extraordinary anniversary, and it's my great pleasure to talk about him today. He embodies the very heart of what independent living is all about. So we are here to celebrate a remarkable milestone, 25 years of dedication and impact from our colleague and friend, John Massa, our independent living skills facilitator here at CILT. Now, 25 years is in itself an incredible achievement, but when I think about John's time here, what stands out to me is not his length of service, but the depth of, John, you're here, the depth of your contribution. John has become in so many ways the living example of the independent living philosophy. In his role, he doesn't just support consumers, he walks alongside consumers. He encourages consumers, and in many cases, he empowers them to see the possibilities for themselves that they might not have imagined before. And John, what makes you so extraordinary is that the way that you support consumers, not only in moments of success, but especially in times of challenges. So whether somebody's struggling with a service provider or with the wider system and barriers that come with an ableist system, frankly, regardless, John is there, and he doesn't step in to fix things for people. He does something more powerful. He shows people how to use the systems and how to navigate, negotiate, and advocate for themselves. He demonstrates through this guidance his own lived experience, his choice, control, and autonomy, and that these are not just ideals, that they are rights, and that they are achievable, and with the right support, they can be lived every day. So John, I think you're here. If you could maybe put your camera on.
Yes.
I just want to say on behalf of all of us, Johnny Handsome, thank you for your unwavering commitment to our work. Thank you for believing in consumers always. And thank you for embodying every single day the values and principles that make independent living so powerful. Congratulations, John, on 25 years. We are so grateful for you.
I just want to say I'm very grateful and very honored to have worked at CILT for the last 25 years, promoting and advancing the independent living movement and disability justice for people with disabilities. I have many people to thank on my journey. I especially want to thank Vic Willey, the CILT executive director, who hired and mentored me in understanding truly the independent living philosophy. I also want to thank Sandra Carpenter, who was a co-founder of CILT, but during my time, she was my senior manager and eventually my CILT executive director. Sandra encouraged and trusted me in 5 community partnership projects with people with disabilities, taking the lead in the decision-making and program development. in areas of safety, housing, the UN CRPD, and Aging with Disability Project. I also want to thank Ian Parker, Senior Director for the Direct Funding Program, who showed me that the Direct Funding Program is truly a success story of independent living in action. I also want to thank all the funders, all the community partners, CILT Board of Directors for their vision and partnership. I want to do a special thank you to CILT senior managers, Lisa, Melissa, Danielle, my senior manager, David Myers, and especially our executive director, Wendy Porch, for their steady and tireless leadership and advocacy for people with disabilities. I'd like to thank all my past and present colleagues across all programs, especially in the core, Rebecca, Andrea, Robin, Kim, Keith, and Dev. But most of all, I really want to thank all the consumers who I've worked with to provide a sense of autonomy and control over their lives, give them choices, and more importantly, to give them hope, to give them kindness, justice, and dignity, all things that my parents and family taught me. So thank you very much. I'm really humbled. Thank you.
John, we couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Wendy.
Darren, back to you.
Thank you, Wendy. And congratulations, John, on 25 years. We're now going to move on to look back at the CILT 40th and the Direct Funding Program's 30th anniversaries. As I mentioned earlier, really key and important milestones in CILT's legacy. So for this, I'm going to invite Wendy to kick us off. Wendy?
Thanks, Darren. I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to recognize the CILT board members that we have that are leaving tonight too. Kathy Samuelson, Ken Connors, Jason Hercherich, and Deb Daniel. Thank you for your personal commitments to IL, and we are grateful for all of the work that you undertook and the dedication to the CILT board that you have shown in your time with us. We wish you all the best, and we will be following up with you with a small gift. And just a quick thank you, an important thank you as well, to everybody who is celebrating anniversaries and to everybody else who makes CILT what it is, all of the staff, all of the members, all of the board of directors, everybody attending tonight. Thank you for being part of who we are and what we do, fighting every day for social and economic equity for disabled people. Just want to put a quick plug out there. If you would like to become a CILT member and support our goals of facilitating this and join us in our new strategic plan for the next 5 years, please check our website for the membership forms. We're also going to put a link in for the membership page to the chat. So please check that out if you're interested. So thank you, everybody. And we're going to move on to having a look back at our anniversary years. Okay, so we've taken off the slides. So I think we have another slide presentation coming up. So if I could ask David Myers and Lisa DeMono to join me. We're going to talk through this as we talk through the 40th anniversary of CILT and the 30th anniversary of DF and all of the events that we undertook this year and a few reflections about what we discovered about ourselves when we look back and what we've discovered about where we're going next. So if we could go on to slide 2, that would be great. Thank you. So these are the key activities that took place this year, among a number of other smaller activities and engagements. We had an anniversary kickoff event. We did a video series entitled CILT Through the Decades. We had a 40th anniversary fireside chat, our big gala, and DF had a 30th anniversary gala as well. So we're going to talk through some of these events with you. And David, I think if you would like to speak about the anniversary kickoff, take it away.
Thanks, Wendy. Happy to be here, folks. Yeah, so on IELTS Across Canada Day, which was in early June, we had our 40th anniversary kickoff. Yay! We were joined by several guests from the community who spoke about the birth of the independent living movement and the major developments and milestones that took place over each of the decades since CILT's inception. Ella Wanda Whitebird, who passed away November 14th of last year, performed a wonderful welcoming ceremony. And we also shared our connections in the community and held discussions on the importance of advancing IL and other change-making work together with cross-disability partnerships and collaborations. Next slide, please. To highlight the event, which is available now for you to check out on our YouTube channel, we clipped a short moment to share with you now. Please play the video.
The parts you cannot see is that I have an acquired spinal cord injury and use a power wheelchair for my mobility. I wouldn't be able to start this presentation without remembering my so many friends who I have made during my journey with IL movement: Sandra Carpenter, Victor Willie, Judah Snow, Sam Savona, Ian Parker, Fran Odette, and Heather Willis. So this is what I have, benefited in form of friendships as I joined IL movement. And I remember very excitingly, it was just yesterday, upon acquiring the spinal cord injury, I met Heather Willis on a Wheel-Trans bus. And when we start talking about our hope, aspirations, and the goal for our, how we wanted to live our life, she immediately turned to me and she said, there is an organization that just started, and it's called Center for Independent Living in Toronto. You must come and join us. A God-sent invitation. And joining CILT gave me a better understanding of my new identity, and it created a community where I felt included, loved, and belong. It was love at first sight, and it has not faded at all, even after 36 years. So as we celebrate 40 years, I have been part of this family, this community, this movement for 36 years, and I'm so honored. My personal and professional growth is very much attributed to my participation in the IL movement. And as Fran was going through her journey when she joined CILT as a young staff, I remember joining Fran and myself and winning a case against the Occupational Rehabilitation Act for their punitive and ableist legislation and its interpretation. So those are very fond memories of us as young advocates, but me learning to self-advocate for myself. And that is a skill that I have applied on ongoing basis, whether I am growing personally or professionally. So I'm so glad to see that CILT has survived and thrived for 4 decades and is a leader among other Canadian IL centers.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Manu's here tonight, right? And to
Yes.
hear that CILT was instrumental in you being an advocate. You're an incredible advocate, Manu. So, if CILT had some influence there, it's really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Next slide. Accompanying the launch, we also produced brief videos capturing a snapshot of themes and emotions from over the years since CILT's inception. We recorded CILT staff, consumers, members, and partners sharing stories and insights on all the eras in CILT's 40-year life. The first video focused on the birth of the independent living movement, so mostly pre-CILT history. The second video was on establishing CILT, the earliest days when many of our pioneers came together. And evolutions of disability activism and social integration was the third. Some of you in the room were there involved in those activist times. And finally, the fourth video focused on moving forward together. So people's visions of what our future could look like. Next slide. As with the public events that took place, you can check out the videos and recordings on our YouTube channel, CILT, or our NTO, CILT Toronto. And today we wanted to share the final video from the playlist, Moving Forward Together. Seems appropriate as that's what we're going to do together as a community. So play the video. People with disabilities remain structurally shut out of inclusion in our society.
Here we are in 2024, but I do feel in some ways we've gone back into the medical model.
You know, we know what's happening where people are not getting the supports to be able to live in their homes and are having to make some very, very difficult decisions.
I still hear of students who have to fight their universities just to get proper doorways, and I find it amazing that it's still something to fight for, or has to be fought.
All our governments still build inaccessible housing where many disabled people can't live and age in place. They keep disabled people unable to work in legislative poverty.
We need to continue to empower people with disabilities so that they can have choices to live in the community that they want to. That's about living with dignity.
Several organizations and networks are cross-collaborating and organizing to influence government policy and investments in disabled people.
CILT as an organization has come a long way too. You know, we continue to evolve and we will continue to evolve.
CILT has partnered to try to push for changes with income security, supportive housing, social justice, people having their human rights, accessible housing, and attendance services in the community.
One thing that is clear is that there is still much work to be done.
For independent living to have an empowered future, all aspects of society must be of the same mindset.
Cool video. Off to you, Wendy.
Isn't it great to see all of those things that we accomplished together as a community? You know, just to point out that last photo, the last still that was in there, was CILT winning the Community Champions Award from the City of Toronto this year, which is pretty incredible. And it looked like a great party. I was strangely out of the province at the time and didn't get to go to the party. David, you've turned purple again.
Oh dear.
This is, for folks that don't know, this is an ongoing challenge for David with his technology, and it just happens randomly. And isn't it great that it's happened during the AGM just for you, David?
This is me. Another version of David, if you wondered. I have a purple look.
So could we go to the next next slide, please? So we also held an anniversary fireside chat after the AGM last year. We were joined by some special friends of CILT who were there, some of them from the very early days of our organization, and who could speak to how we have evolved across time, where we started, why we started, and where we are going next. It was less of a presentation and more of a kind of friendly chat. We also imagined all of us together, I think, a virtual fireside, an imaginary fireplace. So That's probably why we're all smiling in the photo or in the screenshot here. I just want to say thanks to John Massa, Karen Yoshida, Heather Willis, Ingrid Palmer, and Darren Cooper for joining me. And in the next slide, we're going to showcase a small video snippet from that event too.
Happened to be in 2019 doing a really short 6-month stint. It was an internship at the CNIB. And right at the end, when my 6-month contract was ending, I believe I got an email from David looking for participants for an accessible media program. And I did my due diligence, and sent it out to our list of community, but I also applied for it myself. And so that was my first initial involvement with CILT, was with this amazing program where I got to meet a lot of really great people, Gabe and Adam and Donald and Jason as well, and many of those folks who I'm still in contact with today. And I got to learn about incredible people like Tracy Odell and Sandra Carpenter, and programs that used to exist like DNET and the Disability Channel, which I'd never known. And the interesting thing is that I grew up in foster care, spent many years, and I have never been involved in the disability community. I spent the majority of my life feeling really isolated and alone and figuring things out on my own. And becoming involved with CILT was really an inauguration. I mean, the stint I did at CNIB was great. I'd never been around so many blind people before in my life. I was like, where have you all been hiding? But CILT was really an introduction for me into the community, and I've never left. It was such an incredible experience to be working with people with disabilities on a project about people with disabilities, and through my involvement with CILT, I've come into contact with many other organizations. And so it really was my first entry into the community, and it's been brilliant. I had no idea about the history, that we had a culture. I've been so isolated all my life. And so although the relationship is new, it's had a deep and a really positive impact on my life, to just for the first time really be deeply immersed in community.
That was the incredible Ingrid Palmer, who I don't think Ingrid's here tonight, but Ingrid is an amazing advocate in her own right. And we are so privileged to still stay connected to Ingrid. Ingrid is working with CCD, I think now, as a volunteer on their board, and also works with Realize to advocate for people with episodic disabilities across Canada. So, and those videos are available. If you want to watch more of those videos, they're available on our YouTube channel. So please do check it out. We were also grateful to receive a number of personal testimonies about 40 years of independent living and how CILT has been able to have a strong personal impact for some of our consumers and partners. So you can look at our website to see all of the testimonials that we received, but we've pulled out a little bit of text from a couple of them to share with you today. So if I could have the next slide, please. This is Karen Yoshida. Karen, I know that you're here today. It meant a lot to us that you wrote this testimonial for us. And this is what Karen said about CILT. I have learned about the importance of equitable partnerships in working with and supporting the broad disability community. The leadership at CILT, the late Vic Willey, the late Sandra Carpenter, and the current executive director, Wendy Porch, coupled with the leadership of other pioneering / first generation leaders, such as the late Ian Parker, Hazel Self, Tracy Odell, Mazen Aribi, and so many others, all demonstrate the importance of developing partnerships with others, disabled or non-disabled, to enhance the quality of life and human rights for disabled people. Thank you, Karen, for that. Karen's work with the University of Toronto as a researcher. Oh, Karen had to leave early, I hear. We'll send this on to Karen, but Karen did groundbreaking work around involving consumers in research when she was still with the University of Toronto School of Rehab as a physiotherapist and as a professor there. So to have those words come from Karen is very meaningful. Could we have the next slide, please? And Lisa, I think you're going to speak to Numa's testimonial. You're muted, actually, Lisa.
Sorry, I've been smiling so broadly, I thought everybody could just hear me all the time. Thank you, Wendy. I do know Numa, and I would like to read Numa's testimonial, please. No words of appreciation can thank enough those who started the independent living movement. Their strong advocacy has led me to living the quality of life I'm currently living and enjoying a normal relationship with my family that doesn't revolve around me depending on them for my everyday activities. Thanks to those leaders and to everyone at CILT as they continue the journey. I really hope this philosophy and the direct funding model expand to become the norm all over Canada. And Numa, I just want you to know that I still remember the first time that you came into CILT, and I remember when you had a conversation with Ian, and I remember that the conversation was all about policy, and I think Ian was he was amazed. He was so happy to meet somebody that shared his vision, and I have enjoyed our friendship ever since, and I so very much appreciate everything that you bring to the independent living movement, to CILT, and to the direct funding program. So thank you so much for your wonderful testimonial.
Cool.
David, are you okay to join us? You're joining us from your phone.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
I'm here. Yeah. So our 40th anniversary events culminated in 2 gala events, as Wendy mentioned earlier, one around CILT and the other focused on DF, with the CILT Gala taking place on June 5th at U of T's Hart House. We had over 120 people attending the event across staff, the staff team, the CILT board, consumers, partners, a few funders in the house, and also other key community figures were there as well. It was a thrill for so many folks who hadn't met face-to-face in years due to COVID. So lots of catching up and schmoozing and really enjoying being together and being able to actually hug somebody you might not have hugged for like 5-6 years. So it was really, really, really something. We also handed out the Vic Willie Award for Youth, as Manny said earlier, and the inaugural Sandra Carpenter Award for Artists. And we were also honored to have MPP Kristen Wong Tam in the audience. She awarded CILT with a certificate of recognition, marking the 40th anniversary. Wendy accepted on our behalf. It was a really nice photo moment, a nice Kodak moment, we thought. And finally, there was a stand-up comedy set performed by disabled Canadian comedian Courtney Gilmore. That's kind of lighted up the formal end of our 40th. Slide 13. How do you want to start us off on this one?
Just to share some photographs from the gala, I think. We were very honored to have pretty much lots of people that we hadn't seen for ages. So there's a photograph here of Lisa and Susan with Mazen in the background. There's Andrea and Taryn. There's a lineup of people having some amazing food that we had out. There's a photograph of Fran Odette and Enza Rinaldi having a chat as well. Can we go to the next slide, please? That's MPP Wong Tam, and they presented to us, as we've heard, a certificate acknowledging SILT's 40th birthday, which was thrilling. We see Courtney Gilmore there doing some stand-up, and you can see it was a pretty magical place that we were in. David, do you want to add anything?
No, it was beautiful. The next, are we on slide 14? Here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well, yes, in terms of the slide 13 with the one with Kristen Wong Tam, there's some other photos there. One's with Courtney Gilmore, another one's looking out at the room, the beautiful room. As you see, it's quite a high ceiling and a lot of tables. A very lovely, lovely site. And next slide, please. There are 4 more photos on the slide. On the left, I was a host for the event, so I'm talking to the crowd, trying to be funny. And then Wendy's there doing her presentation to everyone. And next to her is Gayatri Prasad, the ASL interpreter. Did a wonderful job at the event. She always does. And there's Darren doing his presentation. You're welcome. And then there's Lisa presenting on DF's 30th anniversary. Next slide, please. More photos.
These are a number. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have an opportunity to deeply describe every photo, but there are on the screen a number of group photos of the whole of the SILT team in various permutations, as well as Jessica and Robaba, our award winners. And we were really lucky to have Kathleen Odell, Sandra's niece, here to present the first Sandra Carpenter Award for Artists. Next slide, please. So we have a little bit of a clip to show from our gala as well. So for folks that weren't able to get there.
In 1985, CILT has made independent life not just possible, but beautiful. People who once were confined to sterile rooms now live in the homes of their choice, raise children, feel the sun on your face, laugh with their friends, and live life on their own terms. And this is our legacy. This is independent living. To our extraordinary CILT staff team, thank you. Your commitment to our work, to our community, and to one another is what sustains us. Every project, every victory, every life changed, it all begins with you.
The impact of this program has been profound. Since its inception in the mid-90s, more than 1,900 individuals have benefited from the choice, flexibility, and control offered by direct funding, and more than 900 people are currently benefiting.
It was a really great day, wasn't it? It was an awesome day.
Awesome day.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you. Can we move on to the next slide, please?
So on September 12th, direct funding direct funding is part of CILT. And so we thought it was a good idea to follow in the same model. And so since CILT had already found this wonderful place, Heart House, that was fully accessible, by the way, with a variety of accessible washrooms, which is not an easy thing to find, we thought, what a beautiful place. Let's try using it again. And so we had over 100 people, the majority of them self-managers, but we had direct funding staff, we had CILT staff, a large number of self-managers. We also had our ILRC partners across the province come and join us. And it was a wonderful event to celebrate 30 years of the direct funding program. We had a live musical performance by Diem Lafortune, which was really powerful. And I think many of us will have that on our phones forever. And most importantly, we had self-manager stories. That was the crux of our day, to listen to self-managers and the impact that direct funding had in their lives. And we had a wonderful opportunity to travel around the room with Speaker's Corner. Thank you very much to Rayhan and David for walking around the room and speaking to people. So could we play the video, please? Thank you. Sorry. So here are some pictures of a variety of staff. The big one in the middle is all of the direct funding staff in Toronto and across the province. We have a picture of some of our speakers. We have a picture of Hazel Self, who was part of the original steering committee. Hazel is in one of the reasons that we are here today. And so it is wonderful to see her in both pictures at the 30th anniversary and the 40th anniversary. And of course, we have Minu in the picture as well, also who was a key member at both events. These are a few more pictures of folks that were at the 30th anniversary. We have a wonderful picture of a family, a brother and sister with their mother. The brother and sister are both recent participants in the direct funding program, which was really lovely. We have a picture with some staff and a longtime self-manager and board member, who is Tara Gersande. We have a picture with myself and a self-manager who's been a participant in the program for a long time. She and I have covered a lot of ground together, so I was very, very thrilled to see her here, along with Luke Anderson, who runs Stopgap and his attendant of many, many years, who also spoke at the event, and a picture of Diane Lafortune, who was a presenter. And I do want to say that we have a picture of self-manager Chris Portelli, who is self-manager number 24, which means he was part of the original 75. Okay, he's the reason we're here today. He's one of the reasons we're here today. And there's a quote from him that he wrote, "Many years ago, DF came along and broke the chains that held me back. Here's to another 30 years of amazing DF." And Chris was at the 30th anniversary. It was so, so thrilling to see him. Next slide, please. And this is a video of some, I think that there are, excuse me. I've lost my way a bit. I'm not sure if there's a video of some folks at Speaker's Corner at the 30th anniversary. So sorry.
Yeah, there is. Thanks, Lisa.
Prior to direct funding, I would have to wait in bed or to go to sleep, get up or go out. Now it's spontaneous. It's a normal life. And it's incredible.
It's really changed my life, honestly. It's given me so much independence and freedom. And it is a way that makes me feel like people take care of me, but I'm also taking care of my community.
It really is a program that provides freedom. There's no other way to put it. And I hope that more people find out about it and can benefit. It's a game changer.
I think since I've joined direct funding, I've really learned about the power of my own voice. I learned through engaging with other caregivers, hiring people, really what it means to live independently and how integral that lifeline is to everything that I do.
Direct funding allows me really to live life. I can choose my attendants. I can choose who I can feel safe with and comfortable with, just to live life with dignity, safety, and control.
Hire and manage our own people.
I think that's the best part about the program. What direct funding means to me is to be able to live life my way.
But overall, it's more independence and more freedoms for a person with a disability.
This program is important not only for us, it's also for our families, and many of us have children. The direct funding program helps us to have energy, to have resources, to bring up our children.
I mean, I can't speak more highly about the program and how it has transformed my life. And it led me into an experience where I feel like my life is more whole. I feel like there is more freedom and spontaneity and independence and autonomy and power to all of the people behind the stewardship that goes into maintaining the connections to make this program survive and thrive, past, present, and future. I am so grateful and appreciative for the time and effort and the energy, the passion, and the dedication that you put into making this program what it is.
Amazing. So those were just a few people at the DF anniversary talking about the power of this program. But we heard it from pretty much everybody there, how life-changing and how impactful this program has been for people to be able to live life on their own terms. It's really brilliant. So can we go to the next slide, please? So we had a really exciting year. You can see we had parties and galas, and we made videos, and we hugged people, and we ate good food, and we had a really incredible year. So we also just want to acknowledge the folks that paved the way for our movement. Extraordinary folks who looked at the options that were available to them at the time, 40 years ago, and related to DF more than 30 years ago, and thought this is not enough. We need more than this. We need opportunities to live our lives in the way that we want. And those early consumers, the ones who founded CILT, the ones who served on the board in the early days, and many of the people that you heard from and heard about today, as well as the early participants on the direct funding program too, and all of the consumers, all of you, all of the members of our organization paved the way for where we are today. What sets our community apart is that we believe in the expertise of disabled people. We believe that we are the best people to say what we want, how it should happen, and the way that we want to live our lives. There are still a number of challenges that remain for our community. There is a profound lack of accessible and affordable housing for our community. Many of our community members still live in poverty on a regular basis. We still have a sometimes very inaccessible transit system in Toronto. We fight every day, all of us in our own ways, to bring to light the ableism that surrounds us and to make changes that support the capacity of our community, the opportunities, frankly, for our community to live independently and interdependently with community in connection and to live the lives that we want to live. We as an organization are different also because we are disability-led. Our board is disability-led, and many, many of our staff members have lived experience. And we think that this is important in the context of the work that we do. You heard earlier that we have been working on a new strategic plan. It was approved by the board at our last board meeting. We will be releasing that strategic plan through an event shortly. Just want to say thank you to everybody who participated in our strategic planning process. We heard from you. We heard from consumers. We heard from partners about the things that you want us to continue to work on. And I can tell you as a sneak peek you told us that you want us to continue to do advocacy work on behalf of the community, and that is deeply entrenched in our new strategic plan and strategic directions. So we'll send you out an invitation to come and hear more about that, but we will continue the work of independent living, centering disabled people's voices and our own experiences and expertise moving forward. And we thank you for your commitment to these values as well. We've got a little bit of time left. I think I've been told we have about 11 minutes left. So I'd like to just open this up and say, if you would like to comment, if you would like to unmute and take yourself, put your camera on and add to our reflections on independent living, I'd welcome you to do that now. Oh, and thank you, Manu, for your comments in the chat. Lisa, I see you coming on. And congratulations again, yes, to Lisa, John, and the other award recipients, and Tika as well, who we are celebrating tonight. So thank you and congratulations to everybody as well.